Welcome back into the Rockers pregame show and the Rockers Baseball Network. Not a whole lot in terms of transactions around the Atlantic League today, but one interesting trade worth mentioning. The Charleston Dirty Birds sends center fielder Anthony Seymour to the Long Island Ducks for a player to be named later. This is the second year in a row the Ducks have added an impact center fielder late in the season, last year trading for Boog Powell late in 2021. The rest of the Atlantic League slate this weekend, obviously the Rockers taking on Gastonia. Island is at York, Staten Island is at Lexington, Wild Health at Southern Maryland, and Lancaster at Charleston. Getting set for the opening game of this three-game series between the Rockers and the Honey Hunters. It's a fireworks night here at CaroMont Health Park. We don't quite have enough time to jump into starting lineups yet, but we'll go ahead and give you our players to watch. For the Rockers, well, it's going to be really the 3-4-5 spot in this lineup. Downs, Wheel, and Morrison starting to regain their power stroke a little bit recently. So we will see whether or not they're able to take advantage of the dimensions here at CaroMont Health Park. And the Rockers really offensively as a whole, can they continue the success that they had up in Charleston? On the other side, player to watch for Gastonia, it's the two at the top of the lineup, Reese Hampton, Jack Reinheimer. Honey Hunters are in single digits now as far as coming in on the single season stolen base record set by Somerset as far as most stolen bases by a team. And those two at the top of the lineup are the two guys mostly responsible for it. So can the Rockers slow down the running game this weekend? The Honey Hunters taking the field, so we'll step aside when we come back. It's the Rockers, it's the Honey Hunters, and it's next on the Rockers Baseball Network. Every time these two teams meet this year, High Point seems to have been coming off of a little bit more and more of a successful streak, and they're hoping that that continues today. They're hoping that the momentum that they have garnered over this 5-game winning streak, which does include 2 wins over Gastonia, continues into this weekend as High Point continues to try to make their postseason push. They do lead the wild card standings by a game and a half, but they know the work is not yet done. Good evening, everyone. Kendrick Fruits here with you from Gastonia, North Carolina, at CaroMont Health Park, as we begin a 3-game set against the Honey Hunters. We'll give you the lineups really quickly for the Rockers. Leading off at second base is Michael Russell. Ben Klinsky, the third baseman, bats the number 2 spot. Jerry Downs at first base hits third. Xander Wheel in right field will back cleanup. Logan Morrison, the designated hitter, hits the number 5 spot. Quincy Lattimore, the left fielder, hits 6th. Roldani Baldwin, the catcher, hits 7th. Jay Gonzalez is the center fielder, batting 8th. Batting 9th. And playing shortstop, Giovanni Alfonso. Alex Sanabia making his Gastonia debut, the longtime York Revolution. Yes, he has some Major League experience as well. 4-5 on the year, 4.86 the ERA. This is his 18th start in the Atlantic League this year. 87 innings pitched. He's given up 91 hits, 74 strikeouts, and 10 home runs allowed. High Point saw him last year. In fact, Sanabia was the opening day pitcher for York last season up in York, Pennsylvania. Was the winning pitcher on opening day, taking down Craig Stem. Michael Russell steps into the right-hand box. We're about ready to get this one underway. Sanabia works from the stretch. First pitch, a fastball strike. We're underway at 6:18. It is 77 degrees and cloudy here. First pitch, time and weather brought to you by Grandover Resorts in Greensboro. Live, work, enjoy. Michael Russell hitting .270. That pitch up and in, and the count 1-1. He's really been on a tear recently. A good opening series this week for Michael Russell. 3 extra base hits yesterday. And Sanabia fires. Russell takes a strike, and the count 1-2. Russell against Charleston, 7 out of 13 with 3 doubles, a triple, and 3 runs batted in. However you slice it, it was a good weekend offensively, or good week offensively for a lot of the High Point hitters. Russell strikes out. Levy throws it, and it hits Russell's bat. Was trying to throw it down to third base, instead hits the bat of Michael Russell, who already wasn't thrilled with the strike 3 call. Home plate umpire today is Scott Hart. Owen Ballard, the fourth at first base, and the third base umpire is Carlos Echeverria. Alex Sanabia coming off a last start for York on the 12th of this month, where he struck out 8 in 5 innings. Did take the loss in that game, but did have the swing and miss stuff working for him. Here is Ben Klinsky, .272, 17 home runs and 61 runs batted in. Sanabia's first pitch to Klinsky, ropes at third base side, foul. And the count 0-1. Very cloudy evening here at CaroMont Health Park. The good news is this morning there was a 70% chance of rain as far as around game time. Now, through the remainder of the evening, it is about 15%. So we are in pretty good shape in that aspect as Klinsky just nicks it off the end of the bat. And the count 0-2. Sanabia looking for strikeout number 2 already. Off speed low, and the count 1-2. Jerry Downs waits in the on-deck circle. Early on here on a Friday night. Feels like football weather. That pitch way outside, 2-2 to Klinsky. Rockers with the gray pants, the blue jerseys today at Gastonia, all in white. They've billed it as their whiteout day, encouraging fans to wear white. I would say only about half of the fans here did so. That pitch high, and the count full. So it just doesn't quite have the same effect when you don't have more than 50% participation. Payoff pitch coming, and Klinsky fouls it off of Stuart Levy, and the count remains 3-2. Klinsky in that Charleston series, just 1 out of 9. Sanabia ready with the 3-2. Klinsky drives it right field side. That'll go foul. Good battle here between Ben and Alex. Next pitch will be the 7th, or check that, the 8th of the at-bat. So already, Rockers seeing plenty of pitches early on. Sanabia has been a regular going over 100 pitches. This one grounded right back to the mound, and Sanabia's throw to first base will get a Klinsky for the second out. Sounded like a Klinsky's bat may not be in one piece anymore. Defensively for Gastonia, Reese Hampton in left, Jake Skoll in center, Zach Jarrett is in right field, Luis Roman at third base, Jack Reinheimer the shortstop, Joseph Rosa mans second base, while Luis Castro is at first, and behind the plate is Stuart Levy. Here comes the first pitch to Downs. Fastball inside, and the count 1-0. Fastball, that misses. And the count 2-0. Jerry Downs leading the Rockers in batting average at .306. 18 home runs, 68 batted in. It's impressive that he was able to bump up the batting average the way he was, considering how low it was even a month ago, around 240-ish, mid-240s. Gets under this one, a towering pop-up into shallow center, and shortstop Reinheimer will put it away. A 1-2-3 inning for Alex Sanabia, whose Gastonia debut off to a good start. He gives Jamie Keefe a high five on the way. And we head to the bottom of the first inning. No score, the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the first inning, Neil Uscali on the mound for High Point. Neil 4-3 with a 3.66 earned run average. This will be his 11th start. 51 2/3 innings pitched. 52 hits allowed, 32 strikeouts, 16 walks. The opponent's hitting .261 against him. Lineup that he will face today: Reese Hampton, the left fielder, leading off. Batting in the 2 spot is Jack Reinheimer, the shortstop. Hitting third, Joseph Rosa. He's the second baseman. The cleanup hitter is the right fielder, Zach Jarrett. Hitting in the 5 spot, third baseman Luis Roman. Luis Castro, the first baseman, hits. Batting 7th is the designated hitter, Emmanuel Tapia. Hitting 8th today is the catcher, Stuart Levy. And batting 9th in center field is Jake Skoll. Uscali has taken his final warm-up toss. Neil, a guy who fitting in with, well, the rest of the Rockers, at least in terms of their starting rotation. A pitch-to-contact guy coming off of pretty solid outing his last time up against Gastonia. Did give up 3 runs in 6 innings, but the important thing and the big number, tied his career high, season high with 5 strikeouts. And really, you take out there was a 2-run single from Holderbach and a solo home run from Zach Jarrett. Take out those 2 pitches, and Uscali was fantastic. First pitch of the night to Reese Hampton. Grounded first base side. Jerry Downs backhands it. It's a fair ball. It's a race to first base, and Jerry Downs wins. Out number 1. We'll set the Rockers defensively. Quincy Lattimore in left. Jay Gonzalez in center. Xander Wheel is in right. Ben Klinsky, the third baseman. Giovanni Alfonso at short. Michael Russell second base. Jerry Downs at first. And Roldani Baldwin is behind the dish. Here is Jack Reinheimer, 276, 9 home runs, 52 driven in, second on the team and 44 steals. Also second in the Atlantic League with 44 steals. First pitch to Reinheimer, fastball inside, and the count 1-0. In Uscali's last outing, 94 pitches, which is a season high. 1-0 coming. There's a fastball that misses away, and the count, he's missed in and he's missed out. Working quickly, Uscali fires. This is hit on the ground towards third base. A diving stop by Alfonso, but there will be no throw. A great play by Giovanni Alfonso to keep that, or to prevent any chance of Reinheimer going to second on the play. But it is a 1-out single. Gastonia has the first hit of the game. That'll bring up Joseph Rosa, hitting at .316, 7 home runs, 74 runs batted in. On base percentage, a very impressive .417. Uscali ready. First pitch to Rosa. He'll take a strike in the count 0-1. We'll see how early in this game Mauro Gazzo will put his base runners in motion. Right now, it's a high fastball. This is a good peg from Baldwin, and they got him. Rodani Baldwin throws out Jack Reinheimer. He's bounced a lot of his throws since coming here, but they're strong throws and they're on target. And ultimately, that's what matters. Gastonia, we've mentioned just a couple of stolen bases. I think the number is 9 away from the single season record. 9 or 6, I'll have to double check that. But either way, 2 outs here. Is that curveball in for a strike to Rosa? And Neil Uscali ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. One, 2 on the way. High fast and in. And the count goes to 2-2. Wind is coming almost in from center field. 2-2. Off speed, lined into right field. That'll get down a base hit. Gastonia is 6 steals away from the tie, so we will keep an eye on that as we go. I'll bring up Zach Jarrett, 301 with 15 home runs, 62 batted in. Runner on first base, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch, Jarrett tips it into the glove of Roldani Baldwin, and the count 0-1. Well, Uscali will give up his hits. A couple of singles, though. We'll take that. Here comes the 0-1. The righty fires. Tapped weakly, third base side. Klinsky's going to let it go foul. And the count 0-2. Uscali normally number 32. He's wearing .235 tonight. Count 0-2 here to Zach Jarrett. Jarrett has hit pretty well against the Rockers. He and Emmanuel Tapia have been the big power hitters that have gotten to High Point throughout the season series. 0-2 coming from Uscali. This one lined into left field, just past the dive of a Klinsky. And it's the third hit of the inning for the Honey Hunters. They keep everything going. Brings up Luis Roman, 266, 12 home runs, and 51 stolen bases. Left-handed hitter is Roman. 2 aboard, 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. Rockers have won 5 in a row. Gastonia has won 2 in a row. Roman swings and misses 0-1. High Point 17 wins, 22 losses here in the second half. Gastonia is 27-12. Uscali ready. Here's the 0-1. This is tapped weakly, first base side foul. And the count is 0-2. Even with the 3 hits given up, Neal's still just at 14 pitches right now. He takes a deep breath, ready to deliver the 0-2. Fastball, that's corked foul, left field side, and well out of play. And the count remains 0-2. Number 35 that Uscali is wearing has been passed around quite a bit. Cesar Trejo wore it at one point this year. I want to say at least 2 pitchers have. Liam O'Sullivan did. Somebody else has too, I think. But he will be back in his normal 32 tomorrow. Here comes an 0-2. Off speed. That's driven deep into right field. A long run back for Xander Wheel. It is off of the wall. Coming in and scoring is Rosa. They're waving around Jarrett. He'll score. It's a 2-run double. So Gastonia, 4 hits here in the first inning. Joseph Rosa scores from second. Zach Jarrett all the way from first. And that'll bring up Luis Castro. Castro hitting at .291, 8 home runs, 40 driven in. Honey Hunters 4 hits already in the first inning. Rockers need Uscali to settle in quickly. First pitch coming. There's a strike. The tough thing is, look at the last 3 hits. Rosa, 2-2. Jarrett, 0-2. Roman, 0-2. He can't get that 3rd strike. They're hitting him, and hitting him hard with 2 strikes. That's the other thing. Is that pitch down and away, and the count 1-1. You barrel up 1 2-strike pitch, that's one thing, but a couple, he's got to find that put away. Long look in, and the righty comes set. 1-1 is on the way. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Change up there from Uscali. Runner at second base, Roman, 17 steals. Here comes the 1-2. That's down low, blocked up by Baldwin, and the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rockers come into today a game and a half up on the wild card chase. They lead Lancaster and the Genomes. Lancaster obviously leading in the North Division right now, so they are not at the moment a factor. Today, game number 40 of the second half, so just 26 games remaining after this contest this evening. Here comes the 2-2. Runner breaks for third. It's a curveball. Doesn't get called. Good looking pitch. The count full. And heading to third base on the stolen base, Luis Roman. So now Gastonia 5 away from the record. They are counting this down like crazy here. They've got a counter up on the corner of the board. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the final out of the inning. But a 2-run double for Luis Roman, and the Honey Hunters break the ice here in the bottom of the first inning. We go to the second. Rockers down 2, looking for their first hit on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the second. Gastonia 2-0 lead over High Point. High Point has 4, 5, and 6 coming up. Xander Wheel, Logan Morrison, and Quincy Lattimore against Alex Sanabia. Sanabia faced Gastonia a handful of times this year. There's the first pitch to Xander Wheel. Strike Xander, 266, 26 home runs, 83 batted in. Sanabia in the big leagues, an 8-10 record, 28 starts, or check that, 28 appearances with 24 starts, including a pretty solid couple years with the Florida Marlins. 5-3 as a rookie with a 3.73 ERA in 2010. Here's the pitch to Xander Wheel. That's going to miss inside. And the count 1-1. Xander yesterday moved into sole possession of first place for most RBIs in a single season for High Point, driving in his 82nd and 83rd runs batted in. That pitch bounced to the plate, and the count 2-1. So, you think about it, that's 83 and 105. He's on pace for 104, and he has been between 100 and 105 really since the beginning of June. He's been perfectly on line with that pace ever since. He swings, grounds this one into right field. It gets through, a base hit. Rockers' first hit of the game, an opposite field single off the bat of Xander Wheel. Brings up Logan Morrison, 261, 10 home runs, 38 batted in. Logan Morrison coming off of his first 3-hit game. Of the year. First pitch, he swings under it, pops it into shallow center, coming in on it, and putting it away is Jake Skoll. One out here in the top of the second, the hitter Quincy Lattimore. Lattimore hitting 262, 15 home runs, 56 runs driven in. Lattimore tied with Stephen Cardullo, 42 career home runs as a Rocker. First pitch, he'll take outside, and the count 1-0. He's also surpassed Cardullo in the RBI list, but he's not by himself. He's got company there, Jerry Downs. And Quincy Lattimore tied at 149. That's going to be a battle that goes all throughout the rest of this season. 1-0 is a fastball called strike, and the count 1-1. Not a good day, or not a good year to be in the Rocker records books if your name is Stephen Cardullo. He lost the games played, hits, home runs, or will lose home runs, and RBIs all this year. Lattimore takes a strike, and the count 1-2. Wheel takes his lead off of first. Sanabia set, 1-2 on the way. Well, he holds the set, now delivers the 1-2. Curveball down and away. And a good take by Lattimore. It's 2-2 now. That was a pitch that sometimes he'll chase. Really, Rockers have a lot of hitters who like to offer that pitch down and away. Another 2-2. Fastball outside, count full. Good battle here for Lattimore. Making Sanabia throw probably more pitches than he anticipated. Here comes the 3-2. Sanabia holds the set, now delivers. Lattimore takes low, ball 4. Xander Wheel heads down to second, and the Rockers have 2 aboard and 1 out, and the hitter Roldani Baldwin. Baldwin 4 for 12, 2 home runs, 5 batted in. Reached AAA earlier this year. The Jerry Downs connection. And he has been nothing short of spectacular since joining the Rockers on Tuesday. A couple of home runs, 5 RBIs, couple of runners thrown out stealing. Swing and a miss there. And the count 0-1. He will strike out. We've already known that because every swing is a swing for the fences from Baldwin. He has struck out 7 of his 12 plate appearances. Grounds this one weakly towards second base. Rosa shuffles it to second for one. Relay to first base. It's close. It's in time. A 4-6-3 double play ends the Rockers' threat in the second inning. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Honey Hunters lead it. It is 2-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the second, bottom of the second. Gastonia with a 2-0 lead. Rockers will look for Neil Uscali to settle in after allowing those 2 runs on the base hit to Luis Roman in the first inning. It'll be 7, 8, 9 coming up here. Emmanuel Tapia, Stuart Levy, and Jake Skoll, the 3 scheduled hitters. Emmanuel Tapia hitting .239, 13 home runs, 57 runs batted in. Rockers injured list, again, Brian Quillens, Tyler Ladendorf, and Michael Martinez. But as we mentioned during the Charleston series, Jamie Keefe expressing optimism that perhaps all 3 could be available as early as the first series of next week, which is coincidentally when the Rockers return home and they will take on the Lexington Legends. So here's Tapia ready to begin his first at bat. He'll take a strike and the count 0-1. 0-1 coming from Uscali. High fastball, doesn't get the call. And the count 1-1. Baldwin tried to at least give it the appearance that it was going to stay in. 1-1 from Uscali. Tapia takes away. And it's now 2-1. Coming. A check swing foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gastonia comes into today with a run differential of plus 181. That is the best in the Atlantic League. The Rockers come into today plus 102. That is the 3rd best in the Atlantic League. Southern Maryland is in the middle at 145. Here's the 2-2 fouled off. High Point's 592 runs. 2nd best in the South Division, but only good for 5th best in the Atlantic League behind Southern Maryland, Lancaster, York, and Gastonia. Not in that order, but just in general. Here comes the pitch. A high bouncer, and just gets under the glove of Jerry Downs. He tried to pick it on the short hop, and it gets through into right field. The 5th hit of the game already for Gastonia. It's a single for Emmanuel Tapia. Obviously, I think you treat that as a win if you're able to keep Emmanuel Tapia in the yard, but now for High Point, got to figure out how to get some outs. Stuart Levy, 226, 4 home runs, 32 batted in. former High Point Rocker. Takes low in the count 1-0. Not particularly a great offensive year for him. Had his best offensive year last year with High Point, but I think really the big thing is he's not going to be a huge output catcher. A little bit of power. Grounds this one weakly to short, though, should be two. Alfonso to Russell for one. Relay to first, 6-4-3. And that is the second out of the inning. Here comes Jake Skoll, 257, 18 home runs, 44 batted in, 24 stolen bases. 2 home runs away from joining the 2020 club. Fastball, strike at the knees, and the count 0-1. Two outs, bases empty now in the second. Uscali fires, curveball, called strike, and it's quickly 0-2. This has been the big mystery for Neal today, finding that put-away pitch with 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Uscali faces the minimum in the second, gives up a hit. Raced on the double play, though. We'll go to the third. Honey Hunters lead 2-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the third inning, Rockers and Honey Hunters. Gastonia an early 2-0 lead, but the Rockers starting to look a little competitive offensively in the second. They'll have 8-9-1, Gonzalez, Alfonso, and then the top of the lineup coming up. Chris Davis in the Genomes game, a 2-run home run to give Wild Health a 2-0 lead. So, again, the Rockers a game and a half ahead of the Genomes right now with 26 games left in the Atlantic League schedule coming into, or after today. So a lot can happen with these two teams separated by just a game and a half. Obviously, that half shows that the Genomes have to make up something somewhere. Rockers have played one more game than Wild Health up to this juncture. First pitch to Jay Gonzalez. He'll take outside, 1-0. Jay on the year, 277, 3 home runs, 30 batted in. Hit his first home run of the year here at CaroMont Health Park. Drove it up over the short left field wall. Short in terms of distance. It is very tall. There's a called strike, and the count 1-1. Lots of balloons here today as well. So I guess we should preface that by saying there's an event here the city of Gaston County is here in terms of their board and their leadership and that sort of thing, as Gonzalez takes 2-1, that pitch up and in. And so that has contributed to what's a pretty healthy crowd here on a Friday night. 2-1 coming to Gonzalez. Sanabia fires, and Gonzalez hits this one high and deep down the left field line. Reese Hampton going towards the corner. That ball is caught in foul grounds. That's the first out of the third inning. Brings up Giovanni Alfonso. Gio hitting at .299. 2 home runs, 33 batted, and an on-base percentage for, check that, .368. And the top of the lineup awaiting after Alfonso. Alex Sanabia, though, 2 1/3 shutout innings so far in his Honey Hunters debut. First pitch to Alfonso. He'll take a strike. It's 0-1. Rockers 1 hit, Gastonia 2 runs on 5. Here comes the pitch. Alfonso swing and a miss. He's down in the count 0-2. Rockers took Saturday, Sunday against Gastonia, then swept Charleston Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But again, it's not about putting together big winning streaks. While it's nice, it's not the goal. The goal is winning series, 2 out of 3. Alfonso does not go on the check swing, and the count 1-2. High Point on the season now. 56-49. Gastonia 72-33. Neither division would be a good division race right now if it was full season records. Here's the 1-2, fouled off. Southern Maryland would have a 16.5 game lead over second place Lancaster. Gastonia would have a 16 game lead over second place High Point. So that's a vote in favor of splitting the season into halves. One, two to Alfonso. Sanabia fires up, and it's too far high. According to home plate umpire Scott Hart, 2-2. We looked at we will probably be safe from the rain all weekend. Sunday, the iffiest of the 3 days. Excuse me, Alfonso fouls that off. And the count remains 2-2. Actually, now that I look at it, Sunday is looking worse. But we shall see. High Point has won 7 of the last 10 against Gastonia. However, the Honey Hunters do hold the edge in the season series 14 games to 8. Two to Alfonso. He'll drive this one into right field. Going back is Zach Jarrett, but he's got space in the corner. And I can't see in the corner, but I'm going to assume he caught it. No, I guess he didn't. Alfonso's on his way back to the plate. Yep, down in the corner, just past the bullpen, we lose visibility. It's where the seats jut out. And probably the last, 15 or 20 feet down the line, cannot see. So, clearly Jarrett not able to hang on to that foul ball. And Alfonso stays alive. Here's the pitch, lined into left. Hampton, long run, makes the catch. And you got speed out there in left field. Reese Hampton covered a lot of ground. That's the second out of the inning. We go to the top of the lineup with Michael Russell, who struck out looking his first time. Struck out looking and then was almost hit in the back of the head by the return throw from Stuart Levy. Ended up hitting Russell's bat with the throw. He's trying to throw it down to third base. First pitch to Russell, off speed, and that just missed, 1-0. Lights on here at CaroMont Health Park. Again, we mentioned cloudy, overcast. Has been that way pretty much most of the day. Russell tries to pick on the high fastball, but only fouls it off. And the count 1-1. Right before the game started, freight train rolled by out over left field. It's the theme of the week. The category is ballparks you play in with freight trains over past left field. Here's the 1-1, high and tight, 2-1. Only difference, if somebody really got all of one, I think you could land on the freight or on the railroad line in Charleston. No chance here. You got to get it over the parking lot, over a hill, or up onto the hills. That pitch high, 3-1. Sanabia holds the set, 3-1 on the way. Russell takes a called strike. He tried to sell it and head down to first base, but he is brought back. High Point trying to do a little bit of damage with 2 outs. It's kind of been a scenario that's been good to them recently. Russell, though, will ground this one right to Rosa at second base. Was kind of sawed off there. The throw on to first base in time. Second 1-2-3 inning of the game for Alex Sanabia. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Honey Hunters lead 2-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the third inning, Honey Hunters with a 2-0 advantage over the High Point Rockers. Gastonia scored twice in the bottom of the first inning. High Point only has managed 1 base runner, actually 2 base runners so far. A walk and a single. One was erased on a double play. And so Neil Uscali ready to get his second inning underway, or his third inning rather underway. Rockers are waiting around for a promo to end. Uscali just kind of standing around, walking around a little bit behind the mound, but he's been waiting on them to clear the field before they can get the first batter coming up. It's the top of Hampton, Reinheimer, and Rosa. the three hitters. Reese Hampton ground out to first base on the first pitch of his first at-bat. Swinging first pitch here, one hopper to short. Alfonso on to first, and that is the first out of the third inning. So Reese Hampton, 2 pitches, and he's made 2 outs. That'll bring up Jack Reinheimer. He singled his first time up, but was caught stealing. Uscali, we mentioned, has given up 5 hits already in 2 innings. But, you know, you look at the numbers, you look at kind of the splits for him this year, and that happens. That's what you get from a pitch to contact, guys. That pitch is strike at the knees. You give up a lot of hits. The good thing is not a lot of them have been driven particularly hard, obviously, not including the double off of the wall in right. That one bounced in the turf 1-1. But you know, High Point with the #1 defense in the Atlantic League. You put the ball in play, you hope and expect your defense to be able to make the plays behind you. Rockers #1 defense in the league, Gastonia the #2. This one hit deep into right center field. Long run, Jay Gonzalez dives, can't make the catch. And the ball's going to kick around in the corner. Reinheimer's on his way to third base, and they're going to hold him there. It's a triple for Jack Reinheimer. Gonzalez dove for it, couldn't get it, and then Xander would go flag it down. Leadoff triple for Reinheimer, and that will bring up Joseph Rosa, who singled his first time up. Singled and would come around and score the game's first run. Lots of traffic on the base paths for the Honey Hunters. Uscali is going to work from the windup with the runner at third base. First pitch to Rosa, fastball strike. Neal's earned run average up at 383. Started the day 366. Here comes the 0-1. The Rockers righty sails that one high. And the count 1-1. Reinheimer creeping down the third baseline, off-speed pitch, grounded first base side, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A strikeout here would be huge. Rockers have brought the corners in. Jerry Downs and Ben Klinsky in right at the turf, or it's all turf, right where the green turf meets the brown turf. Ready to cut down Reinheimer if the ball is hit in their direction. Here's the pitch, bounced and blocked by Baldwin. 2-2. If you can get Rosa, then takes a sacrifice fly out of play for Zach Jarrett. We know can drive the ball a long way. So too can Rosa. Here's the 2-2, high and away. Well, and you know, if Rosa gets on, if Uscali loses him and Rosa walks, you can about guarantee he'll be running. Here comes a payoff pitch to Joseph Rosa. It was 1-2, now it's 3-2, and that's fouled off. Game 1 of a 3-game weekend series. Tomorrow, the Rockers will face Zach Godley again. They'll send Craig Stem to the mound. On Sunday afternoon, Ian McKinney for Gastonia, and the Rockers go with Liam O'Sullivan. Here's the 3-2. That's driven down the right field side. It is a fair ball. Coming in and scoring is Reinheimer. Rosa on his way to second. It's an RBI double. 7 hits for Gastonia here already. Joseph Rosa, 75th run batted in. That'll bring up Zach Jarrett. He singled and scored. One out here in the third. This is probably how Charleston felt yesterday. Rockers clogging up the base paths. Gastonia doing the same to High Point today as Jarrett takes outside ball 1. In the event that Uscali doesn't go particularly long in this game, good thing the Rockers bullpen pretty fresh. Mickey Janis, 4 innings yesterday, really saved the bullpen. Here's the 1-0. Jarrett takes low 2-0. Really, you would think, with the exception of Janis and Joe Johnson, probably everybody available tonight. (2-0) from Uscali. This one's popped up and foul, right field side. The Rockers are going to have to figure out Alex Sanabia. Here comes the 2-1. Off speed, that's hit high in the air into center, not deep. Coming in is Jay Gonzalez, and he'll put it away for the second out. Joseph Rosa just casually walks back to second base. We had no chance at trying to advance to third, so did not expend any more energy than was necessary there. Here's Luis Roman. A 2-run double in the first inning. Uscali working from the stretch now. Roman under this one, high fly into right. Going back to the track is Xander Wheel. He's got room, and he'll put it away for the final out of the inning. But Gastonia gets another, an RBI double from Joseph Rosa. And we will go to the top of the fourth. Honey Hunters lead by 3 now on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the fourth inning, Alex Sanabia has cruised through 3, has thrown 46 pitches. New Uscali's only thrown 49. Only difference, Gastonia, 3 runs, Rockers, no runs, and only have 1 hit. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 coming up here. Ben Klinsky, Jerry Downs, Xander Wheel. Xander Wheel owns the only high point hit of the game. Klinsky grounded out back to the pitcher his first time up. On what sounded like a broken bat up the middle. Sanabia ready. First pitch to Klinsky to start the fourth inning. It's a curveball inside. Called a strike though from Hart. And the count 0-1. Good job by Stuart Levy. You can see him frame that one up. Sanabia's 0-1. Fastball. Klinsky drives this one into right, but right there is Zach Jarrett. And he'll put it away. First out of the fourth inning. A very successful Gastonia debut for Sanabia through 3 1/3. Brings up Jerry Downs, popped out to short his first time up. Here comes the first pitch to Downs. Fastball down, and the count 1-0. I would venture this may be the most people I have seen here this year. We've been here a lot recently. Downs comes up empty, chasing the high fastball. The count 1-1. Alex Sanabia has dropped his earned run average down to 4.68. When you give up just one hit, you're in the fourth inning. Usually everything else looks pretty good to go along with it. That's away, 2-1. It's not like the Rockers aren't putting the ball in play. Only one strikeout so far. The issue has more just been a lot of times they're not making good contact, solid contact, and when they do, it's hit right to a defender. 2-1 from Sanabia. Downs pops it up. Third base side foul and out of play. 2-2. Downs taking his batting helmet off and actually tapped it against his bat. Now put it back on his head, ready to begin his pre-pitch routine again. And Sanabia set, ready with the 2-2. Off speed, strike three looking. Down goes Downs, and that's out number 2 here in the fourth. Rockers have nothing for Sanabia so far. The batter is Xander Wheel. Only Rocker with the base hit so far. Opposite field single to lead off the second. First pitch to Xander Wheel. He'll take inside. They count 1-0. Logan Morrison waits in the on-deck circle. 1 ball, no strikes. Sanabia trying for yet another 1-2-3 inning. High and tight. 2-0. 1-2-3 in the first. Gave up a couple of base runners in the second. A 1-2-3 third. That's how it all shakes out up to this point here with 2 outs in the fourth. The righty delivers the 2-0. Wheel swings, hits this one high in the air. but not super deep into left center. Hampton, and that is the final out of the inning. Another 1-2-3. The Rockers going down quickly and quietly offensively. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 3-0 Gastonia on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the fourth, time to take a look at the Atlantic League board, see what else is going on here on a Friday evening around the Atlantic League. Long Island shutting out York 3-0 today. Akil Morris looking for his fifth win of the year. Top of the third, no score between the Ferry Hawks and the Legends. Genomes and Blue Crabs tied at 2 in the bottom of the second. Darryl Thompson and Dustin Beggs, two of the winningest pitchers in the Atlantic League this year. Thompson 12-2, Beggs 9-4. Lancaster trailing Charleston 1-0. They have just gone to the top of inning number 3. Cameron Gann versus Michael Gunn, the pitching matchup there. Uscali faces 6, 7, and 8. Castro, Tapia, and Levy here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Big news earlier today from around the Atlantic League. Kevin Herget had his contract selected. This one hit high in the air into left. Going back on it, Lattimore makes the catch. First out of the inning. But Herget from AAA Durham to the Tampa Bay. So the first Charleston Dirty Bird alumni since they became a member of the Atlantic League last year to be called up. So congratulations to him. I know Billy Horn was extremely happy about that. Obviously, he should be. First pitch to Tapia, pops it up, third base side. Klinsky gives it a look, but no chance at making the play. And the count 0-1. Elsewhere around the Atlantic League in terms of alumni, the Mets did designate Devin Marrero for assignment today. Marrero just been called up to the Mets a couple of days ago, and his stint was a short one. Tapia swing and a miss, 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 from Uscali. That's low. Tried to get Emmanuel Tapia to chase it, but was not successful in that endeavor. The count 1-2. Wind is now coming in from left field. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the third strikeout today for Uscali. 2 in the fourth, looking for a 1-2-3 of his own. Faced the today. That was in the second when Emmanuel Tapia singled but was erased on a double play. Speaking of that double play, the hitter Stuart Levy now is the man that hit into that double play. First pitch from Uscali to Levy. Curveball, strike, inside corner. And the count 0-1. Still cloudy. It's gotten, sun might have found a little bit of a window to our left. That pitch low, 1-1. Can't see that far. My line of sight restricted for the roof over the concourse. Levy lines this one just over the leap of Michael Russell into right field, a base hit. Michael Russell needed about, a half of a base of length. Could have come down with that ball, but it is a 2-out single for Stuart Levy. For Gastonia, their 8th hit of the game. Jake Scholes struck out his first time up. The impressive thing, Uscali still sticking with Sanabia in terms of pitch count. Alex threw 56 pitches through 4. Next pitch for Uscali, 1 out away from getting out of this inning, is number 58. And this one grounded to Michael Russell at second base. He'll throw it to first. Jerry Downs and Uscali both there. Downs makes the catch to retire Jake Scholes. Jerry dove for it. Uscali was alert in heading over to first base. But Jerry also got up quickly. And they were both standing on the bag ready to make the catch. It went 4-3, and we go to the 5th. Honey Hunters don't score, but they lead 3-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the 5th inning, high point 5-6-7 coming up. Morrison, Lattimore, Baldwin. Only 1 hit against Alex Sanabia up to this point. 1 hit, 2 base runners. Neil Uscali at least keeping the team in it. But the Rockers offense needs to figure something out. We've talked about it time and time again. This Gastonia bullpen is not one you can mess around with, so if you're going to get them, it's got to be off of their more often than not. Morrison takes away 1-0. Not that the relievers aren't invincible. They have gotten to Balaguer once or twice, Sam Bordner a time or two. But more often than not, you need to get the lead early, because when Moro Gazzo turns it over to the bullpen, most of the time they get the job done. Morrison pops this up, foul territory. Levy there. First baseman Castro is there. Castro makes the catch in foul grounds. One out brings up Lattimore. He walked his first time up. So now with 1 out here in the top of the 5th, Alex Sanabia taking a walk behind the back of the pitcher's mound. Lattimore waiting on him. Now Sanabia works his way back up the back of the hill. First pitch coming to Lattimore. And this is grounded third base side and well foul. Started right down the line, but had enough spin on it that with each successive hop became more and more obvious the path in which that ball was taking. Here comes an 0-1. Sanabia will deliver. Fastball misses. The count 1-1. 60 pitches, 35 strikes. For the newly acquired right-hander. Honey Hunter's rotation on paper, very, very good. Setting up nicely in the postseason. That pitch up and in. The count 2-1. If they're trying to prep for a potential final between themselves and the Blue Crabs, trying to make sure they could match up with Lamson, Butler, and Thompson. Lattimore under this one, right field side. Zach Jarrett watches it go foul, 2-2. Gastonia now, Sanabia, Anderson. I don't know, who would you say their third would be? I would guess Zach Godley. Or Riley Hovis, either way. 2-2 curve, swing and a miss. Down goes Lattimore. For Sanabia, that is his third strikeout of the game. And that'll bring up Roldani Baldwin, who bounced into a double play his first time up. First pitch to Roldani Baldwin. Again, 3 for 8 in his first 3 games as a rocker. He'll take inside. And the count 1-0. Check that, he was 3 for 8 in his first 2 games, 4 for 12 in his first 3. Did not finish the third game yesterday as Jamie Keefe pulled a couple of starters to rest them with the Rockers building a pretty large lead. There's a strike, 1-1. Ben Klinsky got the rare day off yesterday. Ended with Logan Morrison playing at first base, Cesar Trejo in left. V. Sarcina was at second when all was said and done. 1-1 to Baldwin. Grounds this one to short. Reinheimer on to first, and the Rockers down in order again. That is 10 straight retired by Alex Sanabia. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. We're halfway home. Honey Hunters lead 3-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 5th inning. Rockers down 3-0 at Gastonia. Rockers back home on Tuesday. 3-game series against Lexington, a 3-game series against Gastonia. We'll tell you about what's going on during that series on Tuesday at City of High Point night. 50% off your ticket order with proof of High Point residency. You show that at the box office, you're in good shape. Then on Thursday of that series, team photo giveaway presented by Atrium Health and Thirsty Thursday, where select beers $1 at the ballpark. Hope to see you there. Tickets at highpointrockers.com. And then the Honey Hunt weekend Friday, it's Fireworks Friday. On Saturday, Margaritaville night presented by Visiting Angels. And then Sunday, Kids Run the Bases and pregame autographs prior to the game. Kids Running the Bases is after the game. And that night, sponsored by Bethany Medical and the Lenny Peters Foundation. Again, tickets can be found at highpointrockers.com. This one hit up the middle, a base hit for Reese Hampton. He's on his way to second base. Nope, he'll turn on or put on the brakes rather and head back to first base. Gastonia's 9th hit of the game, and you could bet Reese Hampton is about to run. Honey Hunters 5 steals away from setting the new stolen base record. Reese Hampton, number 1 in the league with 53. Brings up Jack Reinheimer 2 for 2. Uscali ready. First pitch coming to Reinheimer. We'll see how long it takes for Hampton to take off. Uscali is expecting it, so he'll throw over to first base on the first pitch. Or the prior to the first pitch. Usually throwing over doesn't do a whole lot of good with Reese Hampton. You're not going to deter him. You're not going to shorten his lead. All you can hope to do is maybe catch him too far off one time. First pitch to Reinheimer, a fastball strike. The count 0-1. And surprisingly, Hampton stayed put. Clouds kind of breaking up a little bit. A couple small wisps of blue here and there. Here's the pitch down and away. The count 1-1. One ball, one strike. Hampton inching a little further off of the first base bag. Here's the 1-1. That's fouled into the Gastonia dugout. 2-1. Check that. 1-2. We're just past the halfway point. This has been all Gastonia, yet somehow the Rockers have been able to keep it at just a 3-run game. It feels like it should be more. Honey Hunters have pounded out 9 hits and have only allowed 1. Check over to first base again. Hampton dove back in safely at first base. It's fireworks night here at CaroMont Health Park. A lot of fans excited about that. Runner goes on the curveball, popped up and foul. Hampton has to head back to first base. Probably had the bag stolen, but instead he'll head back. Uscali set with the 1-2. Hampton staying a little closer by this time. Nope, he breaks again. That one's low. Good throw. That's got him by a mile. Baldwin has thrown out his second runner of the game. Reese Hampton caught stealing. I'll tell you what. People are going to learn really quickly you don't run on Roldani Baldwin. One out now. They count 2-2 to Reinheimer. And Uscali fires. Reinheimer fouls it off, third base side. Chuck Stewart, the third base coach, makes the catch. Got two good fielding third base coaches in this one. I don't know what their 2K rating would be defensively, but I would venture two of the better fielding defensive third basemen, or defensive third base coaches. Here's the 2-2. That's a fastball lined into right, sinking quickly, but Xander Wheel able to get to it and put it away. 2 outs now, and that'll bring up Joseph Rosa, 2 for 2. Joseph Rosa steps into the left-hand box. Rockers bullpen still quiet. Neil Uscali at 67 pitches. Rosa grounds it first pitch, first base side, foul. The count 0-1. Uscali ready with the 0-1. The righty fires. Rosa takes down and in. And the count 1-1. I wonder how many times they've had to tell Roldani Baldwin, or whether if they've had to tell him about that running to first rule. Rosa took a step that way. You'll see a lot of hitters do that. They'll kind of fake a step that way. Nobody's doing it seriously. But I feel like when you come into this league, maybe they should remind you these are some of the experimental rules. They're not happening a whole lot, but they do exist. As that pitch low, 2-1. Uscali ready. Down in the count to Rosa. Got to be careful here not to leave one too far over the plate. That's low and away, 3-1. Zach Jarrett is the next man up for the Honey Hunters. Uscali ready with a 3-1. The rocker righty swing and a miss from Rosa, and the curveball was ball 4, but Uscali got Rosa to bite on that off-speed pitch down. And the count now 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch, popped up, and that's foul. And the count remains 3-2. A couple of fans just walked by with Dippin' Dots. Maybe not the warmest day here at the ballpark, but, you know, nothing beats ice cream in August, right? Another 3-2. That is outside. Good looking pitch. Uscali and Baldwin don't get the call, though. Ball 4, Rosa has now reached base all 3 times he has come up today. And that'll bring up Zach Jarrett, 1 for 2. Singleton scored in the first. Fly out to center field in the third. And here he is again in the 5th. Uscali ready. First pitch coming to Jarrett. Nope, check over to first base. They about got Rosa. He was back in barely. That was a close one over there at first base. Honey Hunters been caught stealing a couple of times today. Here's the pitch. That one slipped out of Uscali's hand. Baldwin stands up to catch it, 1-0. In the 6th inning, High Point will have 8, 9, and 1. Gonzalez, Alfonso, and Russell, the 3 hitters coming up. Here comes the 1-0. Uscali fires, bounces that one. Baldwin picks it and is able to keep Rosa over there at first base. Obviously, there's still some work to do as Frank Viola's going to go out and talk. But, you know, despite how hard or how frequently, probably a better term, Uscali has been hit today, if he could go the next 4 outs without giving up a run, you look at it and you go, hey, he went 6 innings and gave up 3 runs, and overall, not bad. Again, that is assuming that he's going to get the next couple of outs. Next 4 outs, you would think, but still. Viola, a quick meeting on the mound. He's already on his way back. First pitch, fastball inside to Jarrett. Or check that. That was the 3rd pitch. First pitch since the mound meeting. It's now 3-0. One bad one away from issuing another walk. Uscali fires. Jarrett is swinging 3-0. Fouls it off. Kind of surprised to see them giving him the green light there, 3-0, but it is now 3-1. Here comes the pitch. Oh, Jarrett swings, hits this one deep into left field and gone. A 2-run home run for Zach Jarrett. It is 5-0 Gastonia. And the Rockers have the bullpen up. Zach Jarrett's 16th home run of the year. 2 RBIs give him 64. And the next hitter, Luis Roman. Rockers bullpen, I believe it is Cam Cotter. Both Cotter and Castellanos are both standing over there. I'm just guessing that it's Cotter, the one who is about to throw. Uscali delivers to Roman, pops it up, foul, third base side. This is where the Rockers are going to get into a little bit of trouble, as their offense has been able to do absolutely nothing against Alex Sanabia, and they're finding this mountain that they're going to have to climb, getting a little taller each swing of the Gastonia bat as Roman singles into right, their 11th hit of the game. Here's Luis Castro. Castro 0 for 2. A pitch just in the turf, and the count 1-0. One ball, no strikes here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Honey Hunters continue to extend their lead. That pitch fouled off, 1-1. Take a quick peek at the Genomes game. Bottom of the third inning, it's a 2-2 score still. Good thing is the Rockers can't lose the wild card spot today. They do have a game-and-a-half lead. Scully throws over to first. Ground ball, third base, backhanded by Klinsky. Rifles the throw to first, and that's the final out of the inning. Honey Hunters add two more. Zach Jarrett home run makes it 5-0 as we go to the top of the sixth inning on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the sixth, Rockers down 5. 8-9-1 coming up here against Alex Sanabia. That is Jay Gonzalez, Giovanni Alfonso, and Michael Russell, the three scheduled hitters. Jay Gonzalez 0 for 1 today. In fact, if your name is not Xander Wheel, you are 0 for something in the Rockers lineup today. Gonzalez steps into the right-hand or the left-hand box. I want to say digs in, but you can't really dig in on a turf field, I would guess. You can kick around all you want at those pellets. I don't think you could say that somebody digs into the box. Anyways, small nitpicky things to talk about when there's not a lot going on offensively. Gonzalez takes outside, ball 1. Showed bunt for a moment, but ended up not swinging or not laying it down. Check swing there. Scott Hart's going to say you went around, though, and the count 1-1. The wind that had been blowing in is now not blowing at all. Here's the pitch. Off speed, down and in, 2-1. Gonzalez showed bunt, but once again able to pull it back in time. Sanabia ready with the 2-1. Gonzalez fouls that off of Levy, 2-2. Well, so the Rockers, you think about it, they have finished their season series with Southern Maryland. They are finished with Long Island. They are finished with Staten Island. They are finished with Charleston, which is the first divisional opponent the Rockers have finished their season series with. So 4 of the other 9 teams This one grounded up the middle. Will be a tough play for Reinheimer. Off balance throw to first base. It's close, but it's in time. It was a slow but high bouncing ground ball up the middle. Reinheimer cut it off right behind second base. And the off balance throw to first base got Gonzalez. So here's Alfonso 0 for 1. Sanabia ready. First pitch to Alfonso. Right-hander fires a curveball. That's a called strike on the inside corner. And the count 0-1. Alfonso hitting just under 300. Sanabia ready with the 0-1. Curveball lined up the middle. That'll drop a base hit. Rockers have just their second hit of the game on the one-out single by Alfonso. You would talk about somebody having a good week. Gio is putting together a good week. Now 6 for 12. Michael Russell 0 for 2. High Point's going to need to start flexing their muscle a little bit. And Russell sprays this one foul, right field side. Really, you need to see this time through the lineup the power hitters doing exactly that. Third time through against Alex Sanabia. If the Rockers are going to get back into it, you want to do it here. This time through, don't wait till the end. Russell chasing off speed down, and the count 0-2. High Point will go to the bullpen in the bottom of the 6th. Uscali went 5. Not the best 5, but he did get them 5. Here comes the 0-2 to Russell. Going to have to protect here. Fastball lines it right field side. It is foul. Dakota Mulcahy in the bullpen ducking his head down, trying to avoid the line drive off of the bat of Russell. Ended up going well into the seats, though, and Mulcahy was safe. Sanabia ready with another 0-2. Russell reaching, fouls that off, and the count remains 0-2. Well, with 2 strikes, Michael Russell has been fouling off some really tough pitches from Alex Sanabia. Another 0-2 on the way. Timeout called. Sanabia held that set for a considerable amount of time, and obviously more time than Michael Russell cared to let go on. Pitch number 78 from Sanabia. And the righty delivers. Russell lines it foul again. This time down the third base side. And the count remains 0-2. Klinsky, the next hitter. Alfonso not venturing too far off of the first base bag. There's another 0-2. That's low from Sanabia. And the count 1-2. Well, how about this? That is now 7 pitches this at-bat, and it's only a 1-2 count. Here comes another 1-2. That's low, 2-2. No one throwing in the Gastonia pen. A couple of guys walking around down there, though. Sanabria has gone over the 100 pitch mark in about half of his appearances this year. So he's still got another 25 pitches to give. Here's the 2-2 to Russell. And he fouls that off of himself, off of his front ankle. He goes down in a heap in the left-hand box. He's already up fairly quickly, grabbing his bat. I think it looked worse than it actually was. I'm sure it did not feel good, but at least judging by how quickly he got up and kind of reset, I'm just guessing it looked worse than what it actually ended up being. Pitch number 9 from Sanabria this at-bat. Russell lines this one to Reinheimer, picks up the one hopper, goes to second for one, relay to first to the double play. Again, a hard hit baseball right at a Honey Hunter. 6-4-3, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Rockers go to the bullpen on the Rockers Baseball Network. Rockers go to the bullpen. It is not Cam Cotter. It is not Gabriel Castellanos, but it is a new pitcher. It is Devin Fontenot. Fontenot, no record, a 3.60 ERA. This will be his 5th appearance. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .294 against him in his 5 innings of work up to this point. As a Rocker, the LSU rookie will face the bottom third of the lineup, Tapia, Levy, and Skoll, the 3 scheduled hitters for Gastonia. Honey Hunters, 2 runs in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the 5th. So it is clearly a pattern here where they are scoring in the odd numbered innings. Here's Emmanuel Tapia, a base hit and a strikeout. Devin Fontenot ready to get his evening underway. We'll give you the final line here on Uscali. First the pitch to Tapia, strike. New Uscali, 5 runs, all of them earned in 5 innings, 11 hits, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Here's the 0-1. Tapia takes low, 1-1. Honey Hunters looking for their 15th win head-to-head this year. Right-hander has gotten up in their bullpen. Actually, that's left-hander. That's Quentin Torres. Costa has gotten up in their bullpen, but he's not throwing. He's just standing. That pitch low, 2-1. Alex Sanabia, 82 pitches. Certainly could go another inning. But could go and will go, two different things. Hot shot up the middle from Emmanuel Tapia, just past the dive of Russell. That's a leadoff base hit here in the 6th. Gonna bring up Stuart Levy. He's 1 for 2. Again, tomorrow a 6:15 first pitch. Rockers have Craig Stem on the mound. Zach Godley going for Gastonia. Rockers pregame show on MixLR beginning at 5:50. YouTube will join at 6 o'clock. Runner breaks for second. Fontenot wheels and throws to second base. Safe is Emmanuel Tapia. Jamie Keefe is going to come out. Michael Russell is astounded that that wasn't called, and Jamie Keefe is going to go out and talk to Carlos Echeverria now. That was, if it is in fact a stolen base, which I don't see how it would get changed, that's stolen on Devin Fontenot. Emmanuel Tapia got halfway there before Jamie Keefe, or before Fontenot stepped off and threw. So that is the second stolen base of the day for the Honey Hunters. And they literally stole that one from Devin Fontenot, who was not paying Tapia any attention. In his defense, Emmanuel Tapia, not normally a guy you would worry about. That is just his 6th stolen base this year. Here comes the pitch inside, 1-0. Fontenot ready with the 1-0 to Levy. Also gets rid of the double play possibility. Fastball up and in. And the count 2-0. Jake Skoll, number 9 man. Be following Stuart Levy here in the bottom of the 6th. Fontenot fires 2-0. This one popped up and foul, first base side, 2-1. Rockers infield playing back almost at the outfield turf. Two 2-1 from Fontenot. Curveball popped foul. And the count 2-2 now. So he's battled back, and the count was down 2-0, is now 2-2. Levy adjusting the various guards he has on his front arm, that is his left arm. Here's the 2-2 from Fontenot. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 3. That says 90 miles an hour on the board. There's no way that was only 90. That had a lot of extra oomph on it. That's the first out of the inning. Jake Skoll 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Skoll into the left-hand box. Rockers are being out-hit 12-2. Being outscored 5-0. That pitch low to Skoll. They have had absolutely nothing going on from an offensive standpoint today. Coming to Skoll. Curveball. This is cracked deep down the left field side. It's hooking foul, and thank goodness, because it did stay in. I thought it was going to get over that short fence, but it curled foul anyways. But it did land in the field of play. The count 1-1. Skoll kind of dipped down to get that one. Dropped the barrel of the bat. I was about to say here's the pitch, but Fontenot's whirled around and looked Emmanuel Tapia back to second base. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. They count 1-2 now. Fontenot ready. 1-2 coming to Jake Skoll. The right-hander holds the set at the belt. Looking back at Emmanuel Tapia. Now whirls and throws to second. It's close, but safe is Emmanuel Tapia. One ball, two strikes. Busy night around North Carolina tonight. High school football underway in a lot of communities, so we wish the best of luck to all of our High Point area high schools. Skoll fouls that one off, and they count 1-2. Skoll ready in the left-hand box. 1-2 coming from Fontenot. Still just one out. That pitch down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Trying to see. We should already have some scores starting to come in. Not necessarily final scores. A lot of games starting at 7:30, but some games should at least be underway. Here's the pitch. Skoll cranks this one deep into right field. That ball gone. Jerry Downs is coming out, running to the home plate umpire, Scott Hart, saying that's a foul ball. Jamie Keefe's going to come out now too, and Roldani Baldwin is also trying to plead his case. Multiple Rockers saying should be a foul ball. There are 3 people trying to plead their case to Scott Hart. Here comes Owen Ballard now, who was obviously not in position to see that ball. Roldani Baldwin still trying to plead his case. The problem is, home plate umpire, the only one of the 3 who was in any position to see it, but multiple Rockers disagree. Doesn't matter. It's a 2-run home run for Jake Skoll. That is his 19th of the year. And he is one away from joining the 2020 club. So it's now 7-0. Reese Hampton comes up now. Hampton 1 for 3. Here's a couple triad scores. Southern Guilford trailing Southeast Guilford 14-0 in the second quarter. Mount Tabor winning big in their game, the Winston-Salem School. A pitch fouled off, and the count 0-1. Pitch a called strike to Reese Hampton. The count 0-2 now from Devin Fontenot. Oh, 2 coming. Still 1 out here in the 6th inning. Popped up behind the plate. Baldwin may have a chance. Drifting back, that ball will get out of play. And the count remains 0-2. Reese Hampton 0 for 1 in stolen bases on the day. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. A weak wave from Hampton. That is the second out of the inning. East Forsyth, the 29-0 lead in the second quarter over Northwest Guilford. R.J. Reynolds, 14-0 at the break over High Point Central. I will be honest, these are not in a very sortable format what I'm looking through, so I'm just getting to whatever I can find. First pitch to Reinheimer, that's fouled off. Reinheimer today, 2 hits, a single and a triple, and a run scored. Here's an interesting one for you. Eastern Guilford leading Northern Guilford 2-0 in the first quarter. North Forsyth on top of Forbush, 14-7. There's a strike, and the count 0-1. West Forsyth being shut out by A.C. Reynolds 10-0 right now. Here comes the 0-2 to Reinheimer. That's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rockers in the 7th inning will have 2, 3, and 4. That is the Klinsky, Downs, and Xander Wheel, the 3 scheduled hitters. Here comes the fastball lined into right field. It'll be a long run for Xander Wheel. Can't make the catch. It gets past him. Wheel collapses at the base of the wall. Coming into second base is Reinheimer. Xander's okay. He just lost his footing. It's a double with 2 outs for Jack Reinheimer. And the Honey Hunter hit parade continues. Here's Joseph Rosa, 2 for 2 today, an RBI and a couple of runs scored. First pitch from Fontenot to Rosa. Fastball just south of the zone. And the count is 1-0. Fontenot takes a long look in. He's really slowed the pace down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Honey Hunters really trying to pull away on this one. Curveball, a called strike, and the count 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 fastball. That misses away. And the count 2-1. Everything going against High Point right now. Rosa digs into that left-hand box, quote-unquote digs in. Already had that discussion. Here's the 2-1. Fontenot looking back at the runner, now fires. That just misses away. And the count 3-1. Frank Viola is going to go out. Roldani Baldwin is going to go out as well. And talk to Devin Fontenot, who looks like he may just be on a single inning assignment today. 27 pitches, only 17 of them for strikes. He's given up a home run, the double, and the base hit from Emmanuel Tapia as well. Frank Viola talking to the home plate umpire on his way out. He's not happy, obviously, with Scott Hart. So it's now 3-1. According to the pitch tracker, all these pitches have missed in this at-bat. A couple of them look close. There's a called strike and the count full. Two outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Frank Viola still not happy as he was yelling something at Scott Hart after that pitch was called a strike. Here comes the 3-2. Fontenot set. Looks back at Reinheimer. And fires. This one drilled out into right field as well. Xander Wheel can't get to that one. It's going to hop over the wall. Actually didn't get quite over. It's an RBI double, though. Joseph Rosa, his second RBI double of the game. It's 8-0 now. That'll bring up Zach Jarrett. He's 2 for 3 with a home run. Rockers don't have anybody up in the bullpen. It is now 8-0. Rockers are being out hit 15-2. Fontenot's first pitch to Jarrett, up and in. I hate to say it, I know post-game will normally hand out a game ball. But don't know that anybody's getting one today. Swing and a miss. Zach Jarrett was trying to add 2 more. The score there in the count 1-1. Fontenot holds the set, ready with the 1-1. Fastball, strike, and the count 1-2. Again, nothing in the High Point bullpen. 2, 3, and 4 coming up here. Fontenot ready, 1-2, trying to get out of this inning. Fastball, outside, 2-2. Well, the good thing about this kind of game, you can start over and try again tomorrow. Still 3 innings left to go, but the Rockers have not really shown any signs of life, offensively or otherwise. Here's the 2-2. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the final out of the inning. Honey Hunters sends 7 to the plate, and top of the 7th now. It is 8-0 Gastonia on the Rockers Baseball Network. So Gastonia goes to the bullpen after 6 shutout innings from Alex Sanabia. Sanabia gives up just 2 hits, strikes out 3, walks 1. And the new pitcher, Quentin Torres Costa. Rockers have action in their bullpen. First pitch, swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. Quentin Torres Costa this year will give you his numbers. We'll also tell you who's down in the bullpen for High Point. But Torres Costa, 4-2, 2.28 the ERA, 20 walks, 66 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .201 against him. Swing and a miss. Klinsky down 0-2. Rockers 2 hits to Gastonia's 15. High fastball. And the count 1-2. Rockers in the bullpen. That is Cam Cotter. We did see him earlier, but just saw him standing. Never actually saw anybody throwing. Now Cam is the right-hander warming up in the pen. Here comes the 1-2. Klinsky fouls it off. Klinsky 0 for 2 like most of the Rockers tonight. 1-2 coming. Torres Costa will fire, and Klinsky fouls it off. Kind of surprised in a way. Gastonia rolling out some of the big guns out of the bullpen here. Obviously, they don't need them in this situation. But that is what they've elected to do. That's away to a Klinsky. Comes the 2-2. Torres Costa fires, and Klinsky fires that into the Gastonia bullpen. The ball will carry him about. But no harm, no foul, either to the score ledger for Torres Costa or for any of the pitchers physically in the Honey Hunters bullpen. Here comes the 2-2. And Klinsky sprays this one foul. Well, for High Point, I guess all good things have to come to an end at some point. Not trying to be negative, but clearly this is the same team that just swept Charleston. Klinsky fouls that off. Rockers had a really complete game today. You know, I guess it all evens out. Everything went well yesterday. Nothing has gone well today. A couple of good defensive plays, so at least they've had that going for them. Here's the 2-2. That's low. Here comes a 3-2 to a Klinsky. Torres Costa delivers, fastball low. That is a leadoff walk here in the 7th inning. Brings up Jerry Downs, who's 0 for 2, struck out looking his most recent time up. Jerry's batting average started the day at 306. The good thing is he's got so many at-bats now, you don't drop too far. It's 304 now. First pitch to Downs, and he'll foul that off in the count 0-1. Torres Costa ready with an 0-1. Cam Cotter ready in the Rockers bullpen. There's still nobody out, though, here in the top of the 7th. That's high. And the count 1-1. Well, let's just start small. One run at a time, right? The last time the Rockers were shut out was the doubleheader against Southern Maryland on the 11th of August, a 2-0 loss. Their last loss by 8 or more runs. We'll find that out here in a moment. That pitch is away. And the count 2-1. Let's see, loss of 8 or more runs. I'm looking as we go. There we go. You have to go back to July 14th at Lancaster, an 11-2 game that dropped the Rockers to 0-8 in the second half. Since that mark, they have gone 17-14 at least. Down swings, high fly into left, not deep, coming in Hampton. That ball still up in the air, and Hampton will finally put it away. First out of the 7th inning, and that'll bring up Xander Wheel, 1 for 2. Wheel takes the slow walk to the right-hand box. I know this is something we talk about with regularity when the team is here, but it is a long, long walk to get from your on-deck position to the batter's box, right or left side, doesn't matter. It's a trek. First pitch to Wheel. Swings out of his shoes, comes up empty. And the count 0-1. Comes the 0-1. Torres Costa holds the set. And now delivers. Wheel swing and a miss. The count 0-2. Logan Morrison waits on deck. 1 out here, top 7. High Point has only had 1 runner reach second base today, and that was Xander Wheel, who singled and then advanced to second on a walk. This pitch, another towering fly into left field. Hampton under it and makes the catch. 2 outs now. Here's Logan Morrison. 0 for 2 has popped out twice today, once to shallow center, once in foul ground to first base. Had a 3-hit game yesterday. Not only that, a double, a single that drove in a run, and a double, and he came around and scored twice. Part of that 3rd inning, the Rockers just continued to just stretch it out. 1 hit after 1 hit after 1 hit. That pitch is strike, and the count 0-1. The way that inning started is a double for Russell, a double for Morrison, a double for Downs, an error when Xander Wheel hit the ball. Anthony Seymour dropped that in center field. A home run for Lattimore, then single, double, single before the next out was recorded. Count 1-1 to Morrison now. Of course, you heard us a little bit ago. Anthony Seymour was traded to Long Island earlier today for a player to be named later. One from Torres Costa. And timeout called at the plate. Here comes the 1-1. Klinsky, moderate lead off of first base. 1-1 pitch. Morrison grounds it weakly to second. And Rosa to first. And that'll retire the Rockers again in the 7th. And with that, it's stretch time here at CaroMont Health Park. Rockers lead at Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th, Rockers go to the bullpen. Cam Cotter in relief of Devin Fontenot went 1 inning, gave up 3 runs, all earned on 4 hits and out 3. Cam Cotter on the year, not giving up an earned run in 7 innings, or 7 appearances rather, 5 1/3 innings of work. 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, opponents hitting .273 against him. And he will face 5, 6, and 7. Luis Roman, Luis Castro, and Emmanuel Tapia, the 3 scheduled hitters here in the bottom of the 7th. Also, the Rockers have made a change defensively as well. Cesar Trejo is now in right field rather, replacing Xander Wheel. First pitch to Luis Roman, a strike. The count 0-1. Preseason week 2 action underway right now. Carolina Panthers trailing the New England Patriots right now. It is 10-3 in that game. That pitch to Roman misses low. And the count 1-1. Was kind of interested to see how the Panthers were going to use the spring training games to figure out their quarterback situation as far as the pecking order behind Baker Mayfield. As that pitch swing and a miss, 1-2. Carrying 4 quarterbacks right now. P.J. Walker, 4 of 8 for 43 yards. He's taken all the snaps for Carolina up to this point. That pitch low to Roman, and the count 2-2. Cam Cotter, the rookie from NC State. Looks like Euclides Laer in the bullpen for Gastonia. 2-2 from Cotter. Fastball, that just missed, and the count full. I have made an enormous mistake, and that is that I did not bring in my sweatshirt from the car. It's getting a little cool. There's strike 3 looking. Roman knew it. That is the first out of the 7th inning. That will bring up Luis Castro. You know it's getting to the end of baseball season. We're talking about sweatshirts and pullovers. Oh, 7. The cold. Oh, you know what it is? Yeah, okay. In the press box where I am, got the big air conditioning unit that's right overhead, and it's still set, what does that say, on 69. So yes, that's why it feels cold, because I'm getting, I'm right in the line of fire of the breeze from the AC unit. 1-0 coming to Castro. High fly into left. It's gone. A solo home run for Luis Castro. Castro said something to the Rockers and flipped his bat that direction of the Rockers dugout. His bat is in the first base coaching box. And home run makes it 9-0. Almost looked like Jamie Keefe said something back to him as he was rounding first. Not exactly sure, but that'll bring up Emmanuel Tapia. Tapia 2 for. That is the Honey Hunters' home run of the game. Check that third home run. Zach Jarrett, Jake Skoll, and now Luis Castro. That was Castro's 9th of the year. Cotter fires first pitch low to Tapia. The count is 1-0. Cotter fires. That's grounded first base side. Downs will knock it down, playing in between hops as he'll take it himself. And that's the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Stuart Levy now. Levy is 1. Rockers, no runs, 2 hits, no Gastonia runs on 16 hits and no errors. First pitch coming to Levy. Fastball strike in the count 0-1. Layer still throwing in the Gastonia pen. Well, Morrero Gazzo wants to use his top relievers in the game. Seems to be already out of reach. I say let him. Pitch fouled off in the count 0-2. Rockers in the 8th inning have 6, 7, and 8. Lattimore, Baldwin, Gonzalez. There's strike. No, it's going to be low. Thought it was going to be strike 3. Couple Rockers did too, but didn't get the call from Scott Hart in the count 1-2. Curveball fouled third base side. A nice snag by Chuck Stewart again. Well, tomorrow, Craig Stem will be out going for his 6th win of the year, 5-3. Leads the Rockers in earned run average amongst, I would say amongst qualified pitchers. He's the only qualified pitcher. Up there in strikeouts, he and Ryan Dahl as well. Levy lofts this one into foul territory goes Trejo and can't make the plays. It lands in the seats. Cesar Trejo just ran out of room. The count remains 1-2. Levy heading back, picking up his bat. Well, we mentioned that 2-0 shutout at the hands of Southern Maryland this year, or earlier this month, rather. Rockers have been shut out twice in the second half, and 4 times in total this year. Here comes the 2-2. Oh, nope, first Levy will step out. Let's see how many times they have been on the ride of a shutout. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Levy pokes this into right field. That's foul. Three. So the Rockers are 3-4 in games involving a shutout of some type. Here comes the pitch. Levy swings. Cracks this one again, right field, into the corner. Trey will again watch it go foul. And the count remains 2-2. Honey Hunters have scored in 5 of the 7 offensive innings. Levy drives this into center, but Jay Gonzalez going back on it. He'll have space, and he'll make the catch for the final out of the inning. We go to the top of the 8th. Rockers down 9-0 now on the Rockers Baseball Network. Well, it's not Euclides Laer. It is a hard-throwing right-hander, Henry Martinez, coming in to replace Quentin Torres Costa, who walked one but pitched a scoreless inning. Henry Martinez, 2-1, a 5.34 run average this year for Gastonia. This will be his 24th appearance. 14 walks, 42 strikeouts, 4 home runs allowed, including the walk-off grand slam that Ben Klinsky hit back at Truist Point. What was that, late August or late July, early August, something in that neighborhood? Rockers 6, 7, and 8 coming up. Lattimore, Baldwin, and Gonzalez. I wonder if this is going to be something worth following. So I told you. Yeah, that's okay. This is getting interesting. That pitch up high. I told you that Luis Castro was jawing at Jamie Keefe when he hit his home run. Jamie just said something to Goose about it. Now they're having a dialogue. Jamie Keefe is yelling into the Gastonia dugout. Mauro Gazzo is giving it right back. Jamie Keefe's putting up his hand saying, "I'm done. We'll talk later." And Gazzo is still wanting to continue this discussion. That pitch fouled off. I know exactly that's what Jamie's talking about, too, just because I can tell by the hand motions, opening and closing the fingers to signalize talking or jawing. Then he pointed at himself, and then he pointed and waved his hand around the bases. So clearly that was in some sort of comment to Castro, whatever he was saying to Jamie around the bases after that home run. Here's the 1-1. Lattimore fouls it off at the plate, 1-2. But like I said, in the Charleston series, for the most part, everybody's played nice in this series so far, this season series. We've all faced each other a ton of times, and everybody, more often than not, has minded their P's and Q's. That pitch, speaking of Q's, missed to King Q in the count 2-2. Martinez, a hard-throwing righty, fires strike 3 looking. And that is the first out of the 8th inning. Brings up Roldani Baldwin, who's grounded out twice. Rockers have action in the bullpen. It is Gabriel Castellanos. First pitch, a called strike, and the count 0-1. There's a fastball that misses, and the count 1-1. It's 2 balls and a strike one. 2 home runs in games with the Rockers. Hits this one high in the air, into right. Jarrett might have a chance, tries to scale the wall, doesn't matter. That's well out of play. And the count 2-2. Tell you what, Roldani Baldwin, who only reached double digits in home runs in a season once when he hit 14 about 4 or 5 years ago. I have been impressed with the power. Granted, a very, very sample size of 3 games, but he's looked every bit like a invigorating presence in the middle of this lineup. He'll foul that one off of Stuart Levy, and it looks like it's going to catch Levy on the hand. Levy quickly hopped up. Stuart Levy good to go. He's already gotten back down into a crouch behind the plate, so it's 2-2 still to Baldwin. Martinez set. Here's the 2-2. Baldwin reached for it on the ground to short. Excuse me, Reinheimer excuse me, tried to backhand it, knocked it down. It's going to be an error, I think, on Reinheimer as Baldwin's safe at first base. Reinheimer tried to backhand it, and the ball just stayed low and clipped off of the end of his glove. So that should be an E6. And they'll bring up Jay Gonzalez, who's 0 for 2. Actually, wow, they're going to give Baldwin a base hit. Rocker's third hit of the game. I thought that was an error all the way. Did not require a whole lot of extra effort, I would think, but I guess in the eyes of the official score, 3 steps in the backhand attempt may count. Count 0-1 to Jay Gonzalez. Martinez with that low to mid-90s fastball. Gonzalez under this one, pops it into shallow left. Hampton coming in, and that is the second out. Here's Giovanni Alfonso, 1 for 2. Alfonso, all-time leader in hits and games played in High Point history. He accomplished the former here at CaroMont Health Park over the, I want to say it was over the 4th of July series. Fastball misses low, and the count 1-0. It happened either the July 4th or the July 5th game, and now I can't honestly remember off the top of my head. I remember it was a rainy day, and I remember both of those days were rainy days. Here comes the 1-0. High fastball, Martinez at 94 miles an hour. And the count 2-0. We're at the top of the 8th inning. Rockers running out of chances to even get on the board. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, the high fastball, 2-1. 94 again from Martinez. Michael Russell, the next man up. We'll see him either here in the bottom of the 8th inning or later on in the 9th, or in the top of the 8th inning or later on in the 9th. Pitch called strike on the outside part of the zone. The count 2-2 to Alfonso. Martinez 1 strike away from putting up the, what would be the 8th scoreless frame amongst the Honey Hunters. This one lined weakly into center field. It gets down a base hit. Baldwin will advance to second base. He is the second rocker to get there today. And Alfonso has a 2-hit game. That'll bring up Michael Russell. He's 0 for 3. Hit into a double play his last time up. Rockers now 4 hits on the game. Gastonia, though, still 16. So here's the situation. 4 outs to make up 9 runs. First pitch, Russell tips it into the glove of Levy, and the count 0-1. Russell yesterday coming off a multi-hit performance. Martinez fires, grounded towards third base. Coming in on it is Roman. He'll step on the bag, and that is the final out of the inning. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Rockers down 9 on the Rockers Baseball Network. High Point to the bullpen. Left-hander Bryce Hensley in relief. Cam Cotter went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit. It was a solo home run to Luis Castro and struck out 1. Hensley on the year is 2-2 with a 3.31 earned run average. This is his 41st appearance, and that will break a stalemate with Ryan Dole. Hensley now has appeared more games than any other Rocker this year. 20 walks, 39 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .233 against him. So Bryce Hensley, 41 appearances. We'll see where that stacks him up all time for High Point. Obviously, have time for more before this season is over. He will face 9-1-2. Skoll, Hampton, Reinheimer up. Jake Skoll 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run. Last year, Ryan Chafee and Kyle Halbon both made 45 appearances, so we know Hensley is at least third on the all-time or the single-season list. Go back to 2019 real quick and look at that one. I know there were a couple there. That pitch a strike, and the count 0-1. Chase Hutchinson led the 2019 team with 56 appearances. Trevor Frank made 50. Sam Runyon 48. Brian Clark 45. Curveball. There's a strike to Skoll. Hensley quickly ahead 0-2. Two on the way. Hensley curveball. That's tapped foul. Back behind the plate. And the count remains 0-2. In 2019, only one pitcher reached 100 innings. That was Joe Van Meter at 144 2/3. Last year, I want to say that only Tommy Lawrence did. The Skoll swings and misses strike 3. Oh, no, it wasn't called. It was a check swing. Baldwin applied the tag, but the umpire never called it a strike. Actually, a couple Rockers last year got over 100. Craig Stem, 127. Cooper Cassad, 123. Tommy Lawrence, 117. Bryce Hensley, 109. Skoll lines this into left. A base hit. Could be extra bases. It goes around in the corner. Strong throw from, Lattimore. Double clutched. Ends up not throwing the ball. And it's a double for Jake Skoll. Right after the Rockers thought they had a strikeout, instead, it is a leadoff double for Skoll. It is Gastonia's 17th hit. Brings up Reese Hampton, the leadoff man. Hampton 1 for 4. Right-hander in the pen for the Honey Hunters. We'll check the roster here in a moment. That may be, I'm not going to speculate. They've added a couple of new guys recently. Hampton, identical spot into left field. Skoll scores 10-0 Gastonia on the RBI double. For Hampton, RBI number 36. And that'll bring up Reinheimer. Jack Reinheimer, 3 for 4. In the bullpen for Gastonia, that is Riley Hovis, who I guess they have started to shift more to a reliever role. I mean, look at their starters. There's John Anderson. They're starting Dakota Chalmers, although Chalmers on the injured list right now. So we'll skip him. Zach Godley, Ian McKinney, Alex Sino. Sometimes they start Onis Farfan. So the Rockers back at home next Tuesday. High Point night, if you have a High Point address. Show proof of residency at the box office. Get 50% off your entire ticket order on Tuesday. As the Rockers take on the Lexington Legends, the final 3-game series against Lexington this year. Let's give another look at the Atlantic League scoreboard. Rockers will still be in the wild card spot today, regardless of the final score. This one hit on the ground towards third. Klinsky throws him out. Heading over to third base, advancing was Hampton. There's one out in the bottom of the 8th inning. The good thing for the Rockers, although the other two scores are much closer and obviously could flip-flop at any moment, as if tonight's games all ended right now, High Point doesn't lose any ground. Long Island on top of York, 9-2. Staten Island beating Lexington 4-1. Lancaster losing to Charleston 6-4 after 6 innings. And it's not been a great night for Darrell Thompson, but it's been good enough. Blue Crabs lead by a score of 7-6 over the Genomes after 6 innings. Fastball, a cold strike to Rosas. The switch hitter flipped around to the right-hand side. Rockers in the top of the 9th inning for what's looking more and more like it'll be their final offensive crack at it. We'll have a Klinsky, Downs, and Trejo. Hensley going inside to Rosa a couple of times now. Hensley getting that fastball up to 90. The lefty ready with the 2-1. Fastball inside. And the count 3-1. Well, the frustration is boiling over. Frank Viola's unhappy with the strike zone. Hensley's unhappy with the strike zone. Baldwin is. Here comes the 3-1. Hensley fires. There's a called strike. And the count full. Wow, looking at some of these pitches, though, in this at-bat, Hensley should have struck out Rosa 2 pitches ago. So I think the frustration a little justified, at least in this at-bat. Payoff pitch coming to Rosa. Hensley fires. That's way outside, ball 4. So, runners at the corners. That will bring up Zach Jarrett. Zach Jarrett has a home run today. Home run, a single. It all adds up to a 2-for-4 afternoon for Jarrett. Runners at the corners and 1 out. This one hit high and deep, right field foul. Hampton at third, Rosa at first. Here's the 0-1. That's high. Baldwin can't find it. It's right next to him. And coming in and scoring is Hampton. The ball popped straight up in the air. Baldwin couldn't find it. And then, even though Bryce Hensley came over towards the plate to cover, Baldwin didn't throw it. So coming in and scoring was Hampton on what I'm guessing is a pass ball. Rosa goes to second. We'll wait and see how it officially gets scored, but I'm going to put my money on a pass ball. Also gets rid of the double play. This one hit on the ground. That would have been the double play ball. Alfonso throws to first and throws off the line. Jerry Downs, a big stretch, but they're going to say his foot came off of the bag as Alfonso's throw kind of wobbled on him a little bit. Everybody's safe. Wow, they're going to give Hensley a wild pitch on that previous one. That one surprises me. That should be a base hit for Zach Jarrett. So runners at first and third now, and Luis Roman the hitter. 18 hits for Gastonia now with one out. And this will be interesting. Luis Castro would be the next hitter scheduled to come up. Swing and a miss. Roman down in the count, 0-1. Well, this is interesting. Emmanuel Tapia is in the on-deck circle. Are they going to skip a hitter or what? That pitch fouled off. And the count 0-2. Now Tapia's going back into the dugout, and there's a pinch hitter coming out for Castro. That is Jalen Smith. So the count 0-2 to Roman. Jalen Smith will be the next man up. Hensley fires. That's bounced and blocked by Baldwin. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Gastonia has now scored in 6 of the 8 innings today. Just past the 3-hour mark, 3 hours and 2 minutes to be exact. Here's the pitch, fouled off. You know, you think back to where this game really turned, and it's in the 5th inning, rather. If Neil Uscali gets out of that inning prior to the 2-run home run from Zach Jarrett, it's still 3-0 at that point. Maybe there's a shot, but really it just kind of felt like everything snowballed from that point on. And not saying it's Uscali's fault at all. It is certainly not. The offense has done nothing today. That pitch bounced in the count 2-2. My point more so being, if you could pick one spot and say that was kind of the point of no return for today. Two. Strike 3. Down goes Roman. That's the second out of the inning. So pinch hitter Jalen Smith. Hitting for Luis Castro. And I wonder if this is perhaps in response to what happened when Castro hit the home run. Could be a situation where perhaps, and again, this is just purely my speculation, but is Mauro Gazzo perhaps looking out for Luis Castro and saving him from getting plunked? Hensley's first pitch to Jalen Smith, down and away. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, we'll be back here again tomorrow at 6:15. The first pitch. We'll be on air with the pregame show at 5:50. There's a called strike, 1-2. Hensley looking for the final strike, the final out here of the bottom of the 8th inning. Curveball almost chunk out of the leg of Joseph Rosa. That was barreled up by Jalen Smith, and his own teammate almost was on the wrong end of that. Here comes the 1-2. Hensley kicks and fires, popped up, and out of play overhead. Honey Hunters will head to the bullpen one last time with Riley Hovis in the 9th. Smith fouls another one off. You know, we talked about Charleston having those Mothman jerseys yesterday, which were extremely cool, by the way. Very, very, very neat uniforms that are up on the Live Source app right now. But they had another one today. And the Rockers, you know, have never really done back-to-back specialty jerseys before, but the one that Charleston had today, Smith flares this one into right, long run for Trejo, and misses the catch. Rosa scores. That'll be a base hit. Trejo never actually made contact with the ball. And that would be Gastonia's 20th hit of the game. And so, anyways, they had the Mothman jerseys yesterday. The jerseys that they rolled out for today, they took or had fans send in photos of pets, of their pets, and used that to basically make a collage of the entire jersey. It's just photos of dogs and cats, and I guess there could be more than dogs and cats. I'll be honest, that's all I saw. Maybe a lizard or two, maybe a bird, maybe a spider, I don't know. But anyways, a couple of neat back-to-back jersey nights for Charleston. Rockers, I think, still have at least one more coming up. Tapia hits this one high and deep into left field. That ball gone. A 3-run home run. It is 15-0. I think it's time to throw in the towel here tonight. You know, our Director of Communications, Steve Shutt, I asked him what was the worst deficit or the worst margin of defeat in a shutout, and he said he was going to take a look at it. It's this one. I'm about 99.99% positive it's this one. You know what? Out of respect to the guys, no, I just know, because I know our guys, nobody's going to want to talk tomorrow. Our pregame show is going to begin at 6 o'clock. Just that, ruffling any feathers, trying to get a pregame interview after what's going to be one of the worst losses in team history. So we're gonna let them have their day tomorrow. So. There's a drive into right field. Trejo back, and that's the final out of the inning. But the Honey Hunters put up a big one, scoring 6. And we'll go to the 9th inning. Rockers down 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Whatever equals 15, I don't know. Yeah, touchdown, an extra point, then a touchdown, a 2-point conversion. Top of the 9th next on the Rockers Baseball Network. So Emmanuel Tapia moves from designated hitter to first base here for Gastonia, and new pitcher Riley Hovis replacing Henry Martinez. Hovis on the year 6-5, 6.39 the ERA, 21st appearance. He's made 19 starts, 35 walks, 83 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .268 against him. He'll face 2, 3, and 4. Klinsky, Downs, and Cesar Trejo. Taking his final couple of warm-up tosses, the way things stand and the way they're going to finish. Neil Uscali will take his 4th loss of the year, falling to 4-4. Alex Sanabia will win his Gastonia debut and improve to 5-5 on the year. And obviously, no save situations. So here's Ben Klinsky, 0 for 2 with a walk. First pitch, fastball inside, and the count 1-0. So pregame show tomorrow at 6 o'clock, not 5:50, 6, top of the hour, both on YouTube and MixLR. First pitch. Or the 1-0, rather, a strike to a Klinsky. The Klinsky jammed on this one. Up the middle will be a tough play. Reinheimer off balance throw. Makes it. That is the first out of the inning. So here's Jerry Downs. Jerry 0 for 3. First pitch from Hovis. Downs fouls it off. Cesar Trejo will get his first crack at it offensively here after Jerry Downs. Downs late on the outside fastball from Hovis, 0-2. Uscali went 1, and Fontenot, Cotter, Uscali went 5. Fontenot, Cotter, and Hensley each went 1. Pitch outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jerry Downs. Downs seeing the batting average drop to .303. Hovis ready with the 1-2. Downs grounds this weekly first base side. And foul. Obviously not as full the seats now, but because of the fireworks, has a little bit of staying power here for the fans in attendance. Obviously, the game no longer in doubt, really hasn't been for quite some time now, but fireworks count for something. Here's the 1-2. Downs did not go in the count, 2-2. So High Point will drop to 50, 56-50. Gastonia will improve to 73-33. Jerry Downs has worked the count full. And Hovis ready with the 3-2. The righty fires. Downs pops it up in the infield. Third baseman Roman now going into foul territory. 2 outs. Well, following the final out, we're going to keep it here for a brief, and I mean very brief, Rockers post-game show. Excuse me. Not a whole lot to dissect in this one, and I chugged a bunch of waters getting down here. So add those two things together. We've got a quick post-game show. We're going to leave it right here after the final out and wrap things up. Trejo grounds it to second. That'll do it. Rosa throws to first. Rockers lose 15-0, the worst shutout loss in Rockers history. Final line score, High Point, no runs on 4 hits, no errors. Gastonia, 15 runs, 21 hits, no errors. Alex Sanabio picks up the win in his Gastonia debut, 5-5. Neil Uscali takes the loss, falling to 4-4. Around the Atlantic League, Long Island on top of York, 9-2, moments away from winning that one. Staten Island takes down Lexington 4-1. Charleston, the 7th inning stretch, a 6-3 win, or a 6-3 lead over Lancaster. And Southern Maryland, a 7-6 lead over the Genomes. Well, you want a game ball to hand out today? You're going to be left waiting. For the first time, and this is the first time I've ever done this with the High Point Rockers, and I've been here almost 2.5 years. No game ball tonight. Honestly, there's nobody I'd give it to. So that's kind of tough, but that's the way it works. 3 hours and 17 minutes, the time of game. The attendance, 3,495. First pitch tomorrow at 6:15. Craig Stem on the mound for the Rockers. Zach Godley going for the Honey Hunters tomorrow. Rockers pregame show on MixLR and YouTube beginning at 6 o'clock. That'll do it for us here tonight. Big thank you to both the Rockers and Honey Hunters media departments. Steve Shutt for all his hard work behind the scenes, and of course Sam Robinson and the fantastic tech team here at CaroMont Health Park for all their hard work as well. Final score one last time. Rockers 0 and Gastonia more than 0. That's all you need to know. It was not good tonight. 15-0 your final score. And I think that'll do it for us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Kendrick Fruits wishing you a rocking good night. This has been a presentation of High Point Rockers Baseball on the Rockers Baseball Network.